You ever see an image that just stops you in your tracks? One that makes you lean in a little closer and wonder, what's the real story here? Well, today, we're not just going to scroll past. We're going to dive deep into one single piece of art to decode the entire world it's promising us.
Okay, so this is what we're looking at. And, promotional art like this, it's not just there to look pretty. It's a promise. It's basically a silent contract with you, the viewer, about an experience, an emotion, a whole adventure that's waiting for you.
So, what is the story here? What's it really promising us? For the next few minutes, let's put on our explorer hats. We're going to break down every single detail, the words, the colors, all of it, to figure out what this mysterious invitation is all about.
All right, our exploration starts right now. We're going to break this promise down piece by piece, starting with the most obvious clues.
And where do we start? Well, right at the top. The very first clues in this whole quest are the words themselves. You've got the title, and then that really interesting tagline down at the bottom.
Okay, so first up, let's do a deep dive into the name and the whole philosophy it's laying out for us. Right away, there's this fascinating tension in the title, isn't there? On one side, you've got survival. We all get that, right? It means challenge, struggle, resilience. But then you have KaiTra. So if survival is the thing we know, KaiTra, well, that's the mystery. It's like a gateway to a totally new world or maybe some kind of new power. And that contrast, it's absolutely designed to get you curious. Then, right under the title, you see the tagline. And look, don't just brush this off as some throwaway line. This is the core philosophy. It's the beating heart of the entire promise this image is making to us.
And wow, this just lays out the core conflict of the whole story so perfectly. Just look at the contrast here. Crafting life, that sounds like creation, right? Nurturing something, living in harmony. But then mastering nature, that feels totally different. It suggests power, control, maybe even domination. It's in the tug of war between these two ideas that the real story starts to come alive.
So that leads us to the big question, right? What does mastering actually mean here? Are we talking about mastering something through deep understanding, living in harmony with it? Or is it about bending nature to your will, forcing it to do what you want? I mean, right there, this single image is already asking a pretty deep and fascinating philosophical question.
Okay, so we've looked at the words. Now let's switch gears and see how the visuals, the art itself, builds on that story. How does what we see reinforce and maybe even deepen that central conflict we just talked about?
You know what's really interesting? The main character here isn't even a person. It's a lone wolf. And that is a very deliberate choice. The wolf, it's a symbol of instinct, right? Of freedom, of being self-reliant. So that tells me the journey we're being promised is probably a lonely one. It's about confronting yourself, not other people or society.
And what about this world the wolf is in? I mean, look around. You've got these glowing mushrooms, these weirdly shaped trees. The whole forest feels both enchanting and wild. It's beautiful, sure, it draws you in, but it's also got this wild edge that feels a little dangerous. It's like it's welcoming you and warning you all at once.
And hey, did you notice the stream? It's like a path, right? It's leading your eye from the dark, mysterious part of the forest all the way towards that bright burst of light in the distance. That's such a great metaphor for progress, don't you think? It's showing us a journey from the shadows of the unknown into the light of discovery. And yeah, maybe even mastery.
Okay, so now we have all the pieces of the puzzle, the words and the pictures. So what happens when we put it all together? What is the complete promise that KaiTra Survival is making to us?
Well, it really boils down to this. First, it's promising a survival challenge where you're not just getting by. You actually have the power to create and shape life itself. Second, it's promising a solo journey, a journey to master not just the world around you, but also yourself. And finally, and this might be the most important part, it's a promise that even in the wildest, darkest places, you can find hope, you can find light. So after all that, after looking at all the clues, it all leads to one final, really powerful question that this image just kind of leaves hanging in the air. And that question is all wrapped up in this one idea. See, the whole concept of survival is being turned on its head here. It's not just about staying alive, it's about how you choose to live. So I'm just going to leave you with this thought. In a world where you don't just have to exist, but you can actually create, what does survival even mean anymore? That
is the deep question this one single image is asking all of us.